what brings us here is the identity space. It's really a very different conversation than we were having last year at Cannes.
In what way?
You're hearing a lot more about the advancement in OTT and connected TV. I think it's happening far faster than anyone had imagined, and the ability to apply identity and data-driven targeting, overlay viewership data, all the things that you can now do are a bigger topic this year than they were last.
Which must be a great thing for 4Info, I'm guessing.
It is.
So tell us a bit about what's changed for you in the last year. Obviously it's been quite a year. I mean, pretty much every month you seem to announce a new partnership or some big new product announcement. What's new in the last 12 months?
Yeah, it's been a great year for us. You've seen a shift from traditionally people may have thought of us as a standalone DSP, which was true, but in that DSP was our identity solution.
Right.
So when you used us as a DSP, you were getting baked in the identity. About 18 months ago, we realized that there was real value in this standalone identity piece that had been proven for 4+ years in the space of mobile. So we started in mobile, which is a great identity identifier because you tend to, that's your person-based thing that you carry with you. You tend not to have a bunch of mobile devices. And then we connect that to home addresses where you tend to have one home address. So those are two really static identifiers that into the OTT space, which is so important to get at the household and that connected TV, get at the mobile device where there's still a ton of viewership on that mobile device and on desktops. So that ability to create that unified identifier across the entire household is really what's changed for us in the last 12 months. We've heard the demand for viewership data, so we announced a really important partnership with Inscape beginning of last year, an important partnership with TiVo at the end of last year. So you're seeing the ability for brands to come to us and connect their first-party data, which is the gem, to viewership data and do some targeted advertising off of that.
So just to make it real for us, when a client comes to you and you have this particular solution, what does it unlock for them? What does it allow them to do better that they found more difficult to do before?
Yeah, well, it allows them to understand their audience. So we actually have the ability to have a brand or advertiser log into our platform, bring their first-party data, get some insights into that, layer on some additional data sets that are relevant to them, and actually activate that campaign all while waiting for a cup of coffee to brew. So the ability to do this in near real time, which historically would take weeks and several different partners, you can do that all with 4Info.
Which is fascinating.
It is. We're proud of the product. It's really fabulous.
Congratulations. So it's interesting to me that the two partnerships you've announced are obviously both very fundamentally in the TV space. TV is clearly becoming more data enabled. How important is TV to you guys at the moment? Is that really the heart of a lot of what you're doing?
Yeah, it's job one for us, and that's why we're here, listening to where, you asked a great question, where are we headed, where are our customers headed as well. So we want to make sure we stay lockstep with them, continue to innovate. The platform has been, we get tremendous feedback of, can't believe this exists, what took so long, this technology exists in every other category. It's great that it's now here in TV advertising.
And it's fascinating that I think what we're seeing in the US TV industry at the moment is the development of some really interesting islands. I guess on the anxiety side, there are concerns about islands, about TV walled gardens. Do you share that anxiety? Do you see evidence of some of these platforms starting to become a bit more closed off while others are much more open?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do, but I also think as a brand, if we're satisfying the client, there's more than one game in town. So to truly get at your entire audience, you got to have the mix. And there's also islands of, local TV versus OTT versus linear. All of those things are going to coexist, at least till next year when we're all talking about it.
And you very interestingly work across lots of different platforms. Does that create lots of data integration challenges? I imagine you're dealing with about as close to big data as the TV industry has.
Yeah, well, we try to hone in on the sweet spots for both our advertisers and for 4Info. So in the connected TV space, they have an IP address. We have a home address identifier. We have a mobile ID identifier. We have a cookie solution. So we have a pinwheel, as we call it, that hones everything into that centered ID of the home address and connects all those devices in the home to create that universal ID.
Right. And what does the rest of 2019 hold for you? Are there other, obviously you've got a whole set of things in motion at present.
Sure.
What do you see coming down the railway tracks towards you that you're excited about?
Yeah, I think a lot more partnerships focused on the TV space. I think you'll see some added enhancements to the platform. You'll see some really key customers announced as purchasing our identity solution and taking it in-house, white labeling it. You'll continue to see good things coming out of 4INFO.
And the identity space is obviously becoming a bit crowded in some senses. There are lots of companies who have identified it as a really important area. How do you see the sort of general ecosystem of identity providers developing? Do you think you'll be one of a number of companies, or is there going to be an effort to standardize in some way?
Yeah, I think historically there was that all-in-one solution. People wanted to go to one identity platform and have it solve all needs. I think the thinking has definitely changed in the tier 1 space, where they want to have more than one. As you get down into the tier 2 space, I think they want to start with identity providers that are more focused where consumers are spending their time today. So that is mobile and OTT. So you're seeing everybody's going to coexist for a period of time, but I think you're starting to see people get back to, hey, if I want to really focus in OTT, I'm going to go with an identity solution like 4INFO.
And you mentioned the cross-platform targeting piece, so the ability to link a device to a TV, which gets you into the whole area of exposure and multi-platform targeting, and then I guess attribution is on the roadmap. Do you see all of these things becoming just part of a single solution?
Yeah, absolutely. And attribution's been in our DNA since day one. So we've always talked about household, we've always talked about measurement and attribution. So television, they share that same DNA with us, the perfect combination of our technology and the way they've been running their businesses for decades.
So it would be reminisce of me not to bring up the dreaded GDPR acronym. It's interesting. It's an interesting time in the US at the moment because you have different states are starting to enact their own GDPR-like solutions. What's your sense of the landscape today? It's quite uneven.
It is uneven, and I think GDPR, we're based in the US, so not as much of an impact for us. But we take privacy very seriously, and we've been talking about it for 18 months now. The California initiative and other states are doing the same. So we're prepared for it, take it very seriously, and we'll respect them and stay on the heartbeat of what's changing in the market.
Do you think the industry needs to push for a single common solution or approach across the whole of the USA, or can you operate in a world where each state has its own individual solution?
Yeah, I think things will move faster if it's state by state. As we don't want to get political here, John, but I think it'll move faster state by state, and we're prepared for that. And they're all going to be a little bit different, but at its core, it's if you want to keep your information private, you should have that right.
So your heartland is obviously the USA.
Our heart is in the US, but it's nice to get out of the USA,
What about plans for international expansion?
Yeah, we've dabbled a little bit in Mexico, so we're starting kind of in the broader Americas, Mexico and Canada. And some of our partners are asking us the same question, and it's always great to come into a country with someone who's already done it, so we'll tag along. Yeah, I think what you're seeing change is some of the big players getting into it. You're seeing what's happening to their stock prices and their market caps when they talk about television, and not just from that perspective, but it's where eyeballs are currently. I don't think anyone expected the OTT space to take off as quickly as it did. So in some ways we're playing catch up. The 4INFO solution is built for this space, built for household, built for attribution. So it's a really neat spot for us to be.